What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Final Whistle, episode 58. Today, we'll be talking a little NBA, full NBA episode. It might be our first ever full NBA episode. No NFL to talk about. MLB's just not talk, but MLB NBA playoffs round one almost officially underway. What a round one that was. A boring round one, you could say, kind of. We'll get to
Yeah.
our first series here. We'll start with the sweep. The Thunder put BTA against the Grizzlies 4-0. There's not really a shock here. I feel like once Ja Morant was ruled out, and he got hurt, he had fell and hurt his hip. We knew this was a sweep. I mean, the Thunder were. This is crazy. It's tough now that the Lakers are out, and we'll get to that. It is just so tough. I don't know how I thought the Lakers were going to win this. There's two teams. It's the Thunder and the Celtics. I genuinely just don't see a team that is
What about the
beating
Cavs?
both of them. The Cavs are good too. Yeah, honestly, it's those three teams. I think the Celtics might get past the Cavs. Celtics are so good. I would love to see Cavs Thunder. That'd be a really fun series.
It's the one time I picked the Lakers too.
Yeah. So, in this series, it was so well rounded. SGA did his thing. 31 point. The Thunder played like they do in the regular season. Literally, this was no one was just going off and having like playoff moments. I mean, Chet, Jalen Williams, SGA, they did their thing. Their bench did well. A great all around series from the Thunder. And then on the other side, you got the Grizzlies and Ja Morant saying that if he were to play, that they would have won the series. I mean, in no world do I think Ja Morant genuinely believes that. I mean, it's just this Grizzlies team is so good, and I think the Grizzlies are like farther away than they think from being real contenders. Just because I don't think Ja can do it by himself, and they don't have Jaren Jackson is not going to be a guy that is going to give you 35 in a playoff game ever. But there's a lot away from a few pieces away, more than a few pieces away actually from being contenders. I just don't see this Grizzlies team ever panning out with Ja.
Yeah, I'll say this. You're froze on my end, so it might be my thing.
Great.
But I'll say this about the Grizzlies. They kind of remind me of my team, the Orlando Magic. They don't have enough. They don't. They think they're going to be good, and then they pull this. Ja Morant can't do it all by himself. He can't. It's a known fact. And on the Magic side, I think Paolo and Franz can't do it all by themselves. With the Magic here, like their leading scorer in Game 4 was Scottie Pippen Jr., 30 points. Compared to him, you had Shea on the Thunder, 38. That was just the reason they slipped. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, beast. Jalen Williams, 23. Chet Holmgren only gave him 11, but it's Chet Holmgren. What else do you want? This Thunder team is just good.
Wow,
this Thunder team last year was a top seed. They fell short of that. I think they lost in the second round, if I'm not mistaken. But this Thunder team, I think this year looks to be possibly could go on an undefeated run. Like the way they looked against the Grizzlies, I know they lost. They didn't have to play Ja Morant, but hypothetically, if they get a couple good matchups, this Thunder team that is could go on a run here. They could pull off something crazy and just per se, it's the Clippers round 2. I think they could sweep them the way they're playing. Like honestly, Clippers are going to be tired out.
It's not ridiculous. The Thunder, and you're right. Previewing the next series with the Thunder and what could be the Clippers. Nate, it is. I just don't see a team in the West like the Thunder. There's no team at all. The Lakers were a contender. You look at the Timberwolves, what they did to Los Angeles. I don't think that works against OKC. That was just because of the bigs. The Thunder are probably the second most well-rounded team in the NBA, behind the Celtics, and it's just so tough to really grasp a winner in this aspect, because you knew that the Thunder were going to put belt to ass against these Grizzlies, and it was a good playoff series. Again, this is just one of those ones that it's like, okay, I didn't watch these games because it's like, okay, obviously the Thunder are minus 250 every night. Like they're gonna win. It's gonna be a sweep. John made a few close games. The Thunder came back from 29 points in one of these games. I mean, like, if you can come back down from 29 points, Nate,
you're a threat.
like if a team's up by 28 points on you, like it should be wraps. Like this team can come back from 29 points and win the game. Like that to me was the most impressive thing about this series was that 29-point comeback that they had against the Grizzlies, and it was pathetic from the Grizzlies standpoint. They didn't score at all in that second half. But
yeah, hey, you want
again? They just look so unstoppable. We saw in the regular season. It's the Thunder team's great, dude. SGA is so fun to watch.
Segueing into from a word you just used, so I guess overall thoughts. I guess the Grizzlies gave them a fight, but like I said, they don't have enough. Ja can't do it all. But segueing from a word you just used, the word pathetic, let's talk about a team in Los Angeles. What a pathetic performance by the Los Angeles Lakers. A 4-1 series loss. LeBron is hurt. I think he went scoreless a couple times in the fourth quarter. Your GOAT, by the way. Yeah, the one time I picked the Lakers to win a series and believe in them, they lose. So you're welcome, everyone. But yeah, the Timberwolves showed up. The 3 seed is gone. A lot of people had the Lakers maybe winning the championship. The meme was Lakers in 5. They lost in 5. I'll let you give your soliloquy here because I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I've been dreading this, not gonna lie. It stems down to one thing, and actually multiple things, right? You have the greatest player of all time, LeBron Ramon James, and then you add Luka Doncic, a future great, and you're stacking up at this trade deadline, and you're like, okay, what other need do we need to go win a championship? And that is a center. We need a center desperately. So they trade for Mark Williams.
Fell through.
They trade for Mark Williams with Dalton Knecht, and the trade falls through. You saw Mark Williams posting on Twitter with that meme of that dude at the funeral, like smiling. You seen that one?
Yeah.
Basically, he was subtweeting them, being like, yeah, like y'all needed me. Obviously, Mark Williams. Now, it is rumored that the Lakers, well, it's not rumored. The Lakers were the ones that actually pulled the trigger, like pulled the rug on the trade because of Mark Williams' house. So Mark Williams was trolling a little bit that way. But, I mean, you saw what happened. Rudy Gobert had 20 and 20 on them in game 5. They had no answer for him. And the Timberwolves are a very deep team. The Lakers are not. The Lakers just aren't. The Lakers bench is bad. It is flat out bad. Like their best, there was people saying that, Austin Reeves was the best third option in the NBA. Like he didn't play like that. I mean, he was scoring 20 some games, like 20 plus some games, but like they don't have a guy except for Luka that will just make like you saw in game 4, Anthony Edwards made every single shot. Lakers were like minus 400 at one point to win that game, and it would have been 2-2, but Anthony Edwards was just clipping. He dropped 45 points. Like the Lakers just never had, like what I expected from this Lakers team was to have a few games where Luka drops 45, maybe even 50. He just didn't do that. He hasn't come out of his shell really in LA yet and had a monster game where he takes over. That could be due to JJ Redick. That could be due to LeBron also being, still the number one option right now that it appears in LA. It could be a fact that Luka likes to use his centers at the rim. And, even though Jackson Hayes is a lob catching big, you still need a better big at that point. It's a pathetic that the Lakers couldn't even win 2 games in this series, in my opinion. The Timberwolves are good, but they're not anything special, in my opinion. I mean, the way they played, they played perfect basketball, and they beat the Lakers. They beat the hell out of the Lakers in games. In game 1, they beat the hell out of the Lakers. Game 2, Lakers won, and then from there it was a swan song. I just can't believe what I witnessed. JJ Redick, there were games where he played his starters the entire second half of the game. He didn't use his bench at all this game or this series. He didn't use his bench at all. I think I'm not going to blame JJ Redick and coaching. I think, honestly, JJ Redick was like, if we want to win this game, I have to keep my starters in because the second I put my bench in, we're going to go down by 13 points. And then it's just going to be an uphill battle the rest of the game. And we don't need to do that. We've got athletes on this team that can play 45 plus minutes a game. So why not? Now, in game 5, not playing Jackson Hayes and playing some scrubs over Jackson Hayes, questionable. But again, Rudy Gobert was going off so much. It's like you try anything to stop him. And then again, just missing shots at the end of the game when the Timberwolves were making shots. It's embarrassing, honestly. And I honestly feel bad for LeBron. He just doesn't have any help. He has Luka, sure. But besides Luka, who the hell does LeBron have? Austin Reeves? No, relax. It's not a good Lakers team at all. I mean, having AD was so nice for LeBron, but again, AD needed to go. Imagine if the Lakers still had AD. They probably wouldn't even be a 3 seed because AD was hurt for the second half of the season, and then he came back and got hurt again. But speaking of injuries, LeBron hurt his MCL, sprained it, so he was out for 3 to 5 weeks, regardless of that win. Now, personally, I think that if they won that game, we would not be hearing about this MCL sprain. LeBron would be playing through this, and then he would have the story. Yeah, I played through a sprained MCL for the entire playoffs. Yada yada yada. Again, it sucks. As a guy who just wants to see LeBron win, it sucks. And Anthony Edwards, though, it's hard not to like him, though, Nate. It's hard not to like this guy.
He's a beast.
Anthony Edwards is the type of athlete that I love. He talks his shit and backs it up. And then after the game, he lets everyone know who's boss. That's the type of guy I love. It sucks when he's doing that against not my team, but the team I'm rooting for in the playoffs and one of my favorite players ever, and LeBron, which is sad. But I don't know. What's your take on this?
Yeah, so honestly, I think it was a wake-up call for the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Just on the aspect of they clearly need role guys.
Yeah.
Like you said, LeBron and Luka can't do everything.
Correct.
And as a Lakers hater, I love the chaos a Lakers series loss gives the media because now when you go on social media, like the national media is blaming the head coaching. They're blaming everything on calling JJ Redick a child.
No, I'm not doing. I don't think you can blame Redick at all.
Like, I don't know if you've seen these things. Like they're you have all these national media.
I'm not there. I think you have to blame.
I can't do that.
You have to blame the 5. You have to blame Jackson Hayes. You got to blame Rui Hachimura, who was flat out horrible in this series. You can blame everyone. You can blame. I mean, sure, there is blame for JJ Redick, sure, but no, you cannot put this series loss on JJ Redick. Absolutely not. This is a Lakers team that for the past few years was struggling to get into the playoffs every year with LeBron James, and JJ Redick comes in, has one of the best trades ever in NBA history, sports history, and then gets the Lakers to the 3 seed in a stacked West. He stacked West,
to
where if he would have lost 2 games in a row, he'd be a 6 seed, which you cannot put this blame on JJ Redick. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And you have to put it on Rui Hachimura in the center.
Oh yeah, I hate how the national media just goes out and they're calling him a child. They're calling him childish behind the scenes. Like, why? I think this is just a wake up call. I almost said wake up call, but a wake up call for the Lakers. This offseason, they shouldn't be. This might sound stupid. They don't need to be looking for a superstar. I know they got the money. Look for some role guys. Fill out a bench. Get a center, like you just said. Fill out, get a 6th man that is really good. You see Lakers fans, this is my final take on this. Like, I see Lakers fans saying, trade Austin Reeves. Get rid of him. Like, why? Like, it's a very overreactive fan base as an NBA casual. I can just see this. It's just the chaos that ensues after the Lakers lose a series. Yeah. And now LeBron's hurt. So, people are wondering, is this LeBron's last playoffs? I don't think it is. But, could it be? Maybe a 20% chance. But yeah, that's my take.
I heard a
I
rumor
think this.
now that LeBron could retire next year because it will be his 23rd season. The All-Star game is
Oh
in
yeah,
LA.
that makes sense.
The stars are aligning for next year to be LeBron's last season. But if I'm LeBron, I'm like, bro, I can't retire with this team I'm on right now. I have a young guy like Luka. No way. Honestly, if I'm LeBron, I would see how we do in free agency, and then
Yeah,
go
La
from there.
GM.
Let me see if the free agents will be. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I think the story about this is the stars were not aligned this year for the Lakers. No pun intended with Hollywood. But I really think that they need to attack this offseason. Trades, free agents, draft, whatever. Build a bench. Build something up. Like you said, Rui Hachimura can't do it all on the bench. Can't. You can't trust Austin Reeves to be that third guy. You just can't. No offense to Austin Reeves. Like, you need a shooter on the bench. Any final thoughts before we pull up the East?
I mean, you look at this is a big if I'm the Lakers, listen to some of these names that are free agents that are centers, okay? These are the free agents. Or is this these guys already get signed? No, wait, did they? Is LeBron on would LeBron sign a 1 year or a 2 year? Let me check.
It might have been one, maybe two.
No. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Okay. I don't think so. Okay. So coming up, I'll be able to tell with Raptors. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So LeBron is a free agent. He'll resign probably, hopefully. Thank God. Brooke Lopez, center. Clint Capella, center. That could be big. If they get this next guy, they'll win a championship. Miles Turner, if they can get Miles Turner, they'll win a championship. He's 29. Steven Adams, Naz Reid I don't think Naz Reid's going to leave Minnesota. He's beloved in Minnesota. Morris Wagner on Orlando. Al Horford.
I hope you're not. I don't want him to leave.
Kevon Looney. Andre Drummond. I mean, literally any of these guys, Dwight Powell, any of these guys would be
an upgrade.
Yes, would be an upgrade for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Listen,
by a lot.
If they want a good bench guy, not to cut you off, it's Wagner. As unbiased as possible.
Miles Turner.
He was a beast before the injury. I think the Magic are going to bring him back, though. You can't get rid of him and his brother. But final thoughts before we go to the East, because I don't really have much to add about the East. We can go through these quick. Like, only one series, I think, was a takeaway. But final thoughts?
I'm sick about it, yeah.
Well, I'm not sick about this much. This was a very blow-away series. This was a blowout. Cavs swept the Heat. My only thoughts about this, is the play-in really necessary anymore? Or, like, why can't it just be the 7 and 8? It was the 7 and 8 ultimately, but, like, what's the point? The 8 seed was the Heat. They go to Cleveland. Game 4, they got whooped at home by, I think it was like 50 points if I do quick math. 93, 103. I think it was 50 point, 138 to 83. This was not a good series.
Okay.
But it also showed how good the Cavs was. May I ask you this question? Was this like a test for the Cavs at all?
This was a wake-up call to everyone else in the NBA of Cleveland. Cleveland is watch out for the Cavs.
I like that take.
You want to hear a hot take, Nate? Really hot take?
What's your hot take?
This is the best Cavs team that I've ever seen. Better than any LeBron.
Better than the
Cavs
LeBron,
team.
Kyrie, Kevin Love?
Yes.
Okay.
No, maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Never mind. Never mind.
But
better than the 2016 Cavs.
Sometimes I do say stuff, but this is since then, obviously, this is the best Cavs team. But this was crazy. They almost won by 70 the one game.
It's absurd.
Yeah. What's your take? I mean, getting Andrew Wiggins, he played horrible in this series. Tyler Hero was flat out bad. The Heat just collapsed right here. And I mean, you did what you could with the whole Jimmy Butler situation because Jimmy Butler wasn't going to play the rest of the season. So you had to trade him and you got the best thing that you could. But Jimmy Butler really screwed this Heat team over. Really did.
Yeah. I guess my take with this is I agree. Like I was kind of on the premise of like it was this like actual real test, but I like what you said about this is just a wake up call to the rest of the NBA, and I think this is ultimately going to lead to Cavs Celtics because I think the Celtics will beat the New York Knicks. My takeaway with this, however, like I'll go back in the play-in. Like, imagine it was the Bulls or Hawks. That could have been a worse series. So I guess the Cavs, if they wanted to prove themselves more, they got a lucky matchup with the Heat and just like they could show off more against the Heat because the Heat are like they're a popular team. If it was the Magic, they probably would have swept them too. But yeah, that's kind of all I have. Maybe the play-in, like, is there really a necessary need for a play-in anymore? Like, I get why they have it, extra advertisements, extra money, but like, can we? Like, honestly, I would just go back to the traditional 7 and 8 seed. Merry Christmas, you get in. But yeah, moving on. Good series though for the Cavs, and then they will be facing their Indiana Pacer rivals. Pacers beat the Bucks 4-1. There's a couple storylines to bring up briefly. Damian Lillard's injury. We kind of covered this on Tuesday. Yeah. And then Giannis, people think, could he be done? I brought up the question, is it time to just blow up the Bucks and just rebuild, maybe retool? What do you do if you're the the Bucks, before we get to the Pacers?
I don't think that this front office wants to win at all.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird because listen, Giannis is a spectacular talent, and I can't believe that they're going to let him walk, because I think he's gone. I think Giannis is gone like the wind. He's going to request a trade. He unfollowed the Bucks on Instagram.
Did he really?
But Giannis is super loyal though, which is the one thing is Giannis is a loyal dog. I do want to pull up one thing here.
Hopefully when you pull this up, my stream doesn't crash.
This is the new agenda. This is it. This is what's happening. I don't know if you're aware, but this is a lock. Giannis is a Raptor.
Oh, I heard there were rumors that he's going to join Paolo and Franz down in Orlando, Florida.
Lies. Liar. Not true. That won't happen.
That would be awesome, though. But
that would be so fire. Yeah, this series was actually very good, and I don't think anyone expected the Pacers to put belt to ass against the Bucks like this, but they did. And as a whole, this Pacers team played great. Game 5 was really crazy because of there was a few times in this series where there was a lot of good comebacks, but the main story of this series was the end of Game 5 when Tyrese Halliburton's dad got in Giannis's face, which is unbelievable. Bruh. First of all, I know there was questions like, why is he even allowed on the court? I guess he's like always at their games and like always just there. But first of all, what did he have, like a flag?
He got banned.
Yeah, what was his? Wasn't it like a flag of Tyrese Halliburton he was holding up in Giannis's face? Bro, I cannot believe Giannis did not just deck this old dude. Bro, Giannis is a whole like foot and a half taller than this man. And Halliburton's dad is big, but he's also old, and it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're sizing up. Like, bro, do you think Giannis is gonna like who do you think you are? And I do like Halliburton. I kind of root for him to succeed just because of, you know, that poll that came out saying that he was the most overrated player in the NBA. But Giannis was number 2, and Tyrese Halliburton let him know. The Pacers team is good. I really wish that we would see Pacers Knicks. That would be really fun.
Ooh.
That would be really fun. But I don't think that's
the only way we would have got that would have been the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's the only way this is going to happen.
But, man, Tyrese Halliburton's dad just got banned from going to Pacers games.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
I wonder what Tyrese Halliburton thinks.
He said, like, he gave the most PR answer ever, like, oh, it's not a reflection of the organization and all this stuff. But I mean, like, he's just what an idiot. I don't know. But this was a good series. Again, there were a lot of comebacks. Sad to see what happened to Damian Lillard. But yeah, if you're the Bucks, Nate, what do you do here? I mean, you traded to build around this Dame and Giannis thing. Dame's done. You know what this reminds me of? He's a free agent at the end of next year, or at the end of next year as well. He won't be back till then. So his career as a Buck is done. If I'm Dame, Nate, this is what I'm doing. I'm going back to Portland.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Another failed super team.
I wouldn't classify this as a super team, but yes.
This is less toxic than the Brooklyn Nets, but they had all these expectations. They ended up trading Drew Holiday in that trade, which he was a piece of that team. He was a piece of that Bucks team. He's on the Celtics, I'm pretty sure at the top of my head.
mean,
but like,
yeah.
I think you got to. I don't think you have to blow it up if you're the Bucks.
You have,
but
to
I would if you're not like you said this front office has no clue what they're doing. They're gonna attempt to do a retool. That's what they're going to do, and I don't think Giannis is gonna be happy about that at all. If I'm the Bucks, I'm trading Giannis down south to Orlando, Florida. Pair him up with Paolo and Franz. I know you want him up north.
I
want him down
would
south.
like that. That'd be kind of cool though. I would like him on the Magic. That'd be nice.
Listen, they need a superstar minus Paolo.
They have a superstar in Paolo.
Well, minus Paolo, like another one. They need a guy. Like,
they need a
big guy.
They need like a Miles Turner. They need a big. Yeah, they need a big.
They need 3-point shooters and a big guy. But we'll get to them in a little.
Giannis would be tough on the Magic. That would be a nice team.
And give up a lot of crap though.
I don't know. When teams get desperate like this, I mean, I don't know when Giannis's contract is up, but
hey, the Magic owner came out today saying it's time to win. But I know a certain Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team that said that too, and they're 12-20 right now. So.
Yeah, true. Magic are a pretty bad organization, but yeah, Dame's done, and it's sad to see. And you're right. I wouldn't say it's a super team, but you're right. Pairing two guys that average 30 points has never worked, Nate. It just has never worked. Like, I'm trying to think of a time like even LeBron and Luka didn't work. Not yet. It hasn't worked.
Yeah.
The only time Nate it's ever worked was KD to the Warriors. That was like.
Could you call at the time
unreal
LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love?
Yeah,
because Kevin Love was good at that time.
Yeah, like 2016, it was those two teams
that were like that era
could build super teams. LeBron and then the Heat back in like 2012 or whenever that happened. Like that was another time that was the only time we only had 3 super teams that have actually worked. The Nets were a disaster. The Clippers tried it, fell apart.
The Sixers are trying to be a super team, but they just suck. They brought in Paul George to pair with Embiid. That's a topic for another day.
I can't even get started on them. But yeah, I like the Pacers. I think they played well in this series, but I don't think they're going anywhere.
I think they're doing it perfectly for like a smaller market area, like Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis is a good like they make moves. They just got to keep Miles Turner. He's low-key, like
easily
debatably you could say he's their best player.
You build around him and Tyrese.
Halliburton's is probably their best player, but I am a huge Miles Turner fan.
Oh, he's a really good defensive guy.
Yeah,
I went to a couple years ago. I went to an NBA game. It was Pacers Bucks. I got to see. That was Drew Holiday's 50-point game, and it was a game where Grayson Allen of all people got the greatest dunk of all time.
Oh, I remember that.
And they had like this section of the stadium dedicated to Miles Turner. Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton, however, were both injured, so that kind of sucked. But I got to see Giannis. But yeah, they love him there. So I hope they keep him.
Yeah,
I hope they can make it work. But going on to another team that has a lot of potential, they fell short. This was by far my story of the year. The Detroit Pistons lost their series 4-2 to the New York Knicks, who I am starting to despise. I'm sorry to say it because their fan base. But the Detroit Pistons, man, nothing but props. They gave the Knicks a fight. This was the Pistons game. I think the Knicks ended up coming back to win it. It was very close to the end. They won game 6, 116-113. I guess before we get to the Knicks, thoughts on the Pistons season, because this team last year was like they've been the worst NBA franchise like of all time these last couple years.
Yeah, but they almost forced a game 7, and this game was unreal. This game was unreal. The game 6 felt like game 7. Man, I mean, Cade and them were they put it all out there, and this
Yeah.
Knicks team is good, but I don't think this Knicks team is built for a championship team though. But this was a unbelievable game. I wanted the Pistons to win so bad, and then Jalen Brunson turned me into a Jalen Brunson fan, like a Jalen Brunson fan.
He's good.
In 10 seconds on that last play, he dropped him, step back, buried it, and then hit the. That was so tough. Like stuff like that. Like I will be a fan of you forever. Like I love that. Like that's what made me like Dame when he hit that over Paul George. I hated Damian Lillard until then. I thought he was so overrated. And oh my god, that was such a good game. Game 6. I mean, Pistons were down. They came all the way back and tied it up. And then the Knicks went on a run that was back and forth. And then they missed. They traded threes. And oh my God, it was just such a good game.
Yeah.
But Cade couldn't get it done. That team is young and it is ready. And I think the Pistons actually want to win. When they drafted Cade Cunningham, I talked about it on our show on WIEP-FM. I said, this guy's a bust. I said, Cade Cunningham's a bust. He's going to be one of the biggest busts in NBA history. I said the same thing about him. I said the same thing about Paulo Banchero. And I said that Zion Williamson is going to be the next LeBron. So whatever I say in the NBA draft, just
What's up, Skip Bayless?
Opposite is going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham is a stud. And I just didn't think he was going to be that good in the NBA, especially on the Pistons. He is him. He's a dog. Now, they are, again, a few pieces away from being a team that is contenders. And
I really hope
I'm all here for it.
Yeah, I really hope this isn't like a year for the Pistons next year where they're just going to fall back off. I really hope not.
Yeah, like they could go out and get a Giannis.
Yeah, there's a fear in me, like it could. This was like last year. I'm looking at my team, the Magic. Like people were like, oh, they're gonna have an even better year. Last year, I think they were the 4 seed, or 5. This year, the Magic went 41-41. Injuries killed them. I'm worried for the Pistons next year if they don't do enough. They need to get Cade Cunningham more weapons. Just keep giving them people to use, people to work with, because this Piston, like the Detroit fan base, they're diehards, man. Like they've been waiting for this. The Lions are finally good. The Tigers look really good. The Red Wings, and then the Pistons. This was the laughingstock of Detroit, Michigan. Now there's some fuel to the fire that is the Detroit Pistons basketball.
Yeah.
This is a very gritty basketball team. They gave the New York Knicks a fight. The New York Knicks, I'll say, they played a very good series, but they were tested. Like you said, the Cavs, that was a wake-up call to the league. This series, I think, was a wake-up call to the New York Knicks. I don't know if that's a good analyst to give. I think it was a wake-up call to them because I feel like a lot of Knicks fans thought it was going to be easy. I thought a lot of NBA fans probably thought this was going to be a 4-1, maybe a sweep. They didn't think the Pistons were good enough yet. This kind of like you think the Thunder last year. They were really good, but very young. The Pistons, I don't know if they had anyone with playoff experience because Cade Cunningham's never been there, and that's their superstar. And you bring up like the superstars, like you brought up Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero, brought up Anthony Edwards earlier. The future of the NBA post LeBron James, post Stephen Curry, post KD, post Kyrie, it's in good hands, I think. I really do. Because they like Anthony Edwards is the next top dog in the NBA. Clearly, he has been built up to be the next guy. Cade Cunningham, he has it. Paolo has it. All these young guys, Jalen Brunson too, they have it. So I'm happy that the Knicks made it this far. I really hope it wasn't a year of wonder. I hope they can come back and do it next year. I really hope they're busy in the offseason. I hope they make some type of a trade. I don't know if free agents would love to play in Detroit. That might be the selling point where they just like, I don't want to play up in Detroit. But like, hopefully they can give some money out. Hopefully they can do something because this year they're not going to be in the draft lottery, which is crazy to say. But man, gotta give props to the Knicks, but I'm giving more props, honestly, to the Pistons for putting up a fight here. They almost forced a Game 7, like you said. Any final thoughts on that one before we move on?
Not really.
Okay, and then moving on, I actually got this one right. I said Celtics over Magic in 5. I thought the Magic would win a game.
Yeah, they almost won 2 games. They almost won that last one, and then they just fell apart. That's what happens. Like, dude, the Celtics, they were down by 8 at one point, and I was like, my friend who had Celtics money line was like, dude, it lost. I'm like, dude, they're going to win by 20. Like,
Yep.
it doesn't
Yep.
matter. Like, I promise you, like the Celtics just wear you out. Like, they just wear you out so much. Like, their bench is so deep. They're the deepest team in the NBA easily. And like, it's going to be so tough for a team to beat this team. Now, Magic played great. They played as good as you could against the Celtics. If I'm a Magic fan like yourself, I'm happy I got one game. It's just, you got a bad seed. You got a bad seed. You weren't expecting to win an NBA championship this year, but hey, you got a playoff win.
Yeah, my thing.
You have more playoff wins than the Steelers in the last 20 years.
Oh hell yeah, heck yeah! You have more playoff wins than the Heat this year. And last year that you played the Cavs, I think the Magic were the 5. I think they forced 7 on the Cavs. Like, that was a good series. This year, like, the whole premise of the Magic was it was going to be an up year. They were going to gun for maybe a 4 or 3 seed. They started out hot. Paulo got hurt. The bench guys took over. Then Franz got hurt. The bench guys kind of couldn't do much. Then they all came back, and then the team kind of just started. It was weird. It kind of all fell apart. Then they got all their chemistry back, got out of like the top of the play-in. The Magic put up a fight this series. Game 1, they lost 103-86. That was bad. Game 2, they lost 109-100 in Boston. Put up a fight. Game 3, they won by 2 in Orlando. Game 4, it was a close game until the end. Celtics won that by almost 10. And then the Celtics whooped them in Game 5 to finish it, 120-89. If there was something that made this a bad series for the Magic, I brought it up earlier. They need 3-point shooters desperately. They are not good at 3-pointers. And they need a better bench. I mean, their best bench guys, I think it was Jalen Suggs. I think it's if I remember it right, Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner out for the season. They were missing so many bench pieces. I'll give them props. They finished 41-41. Good for the Magic. I hope for better. Like I said, I kind of hope they're like the Pistons. Like, I kind of put them in the same thing. I want to see them go out and ball this offseason. Go out and get a stud. Like, I brought up Giannis as for fun. Make a blockbuster, man. You got all these young guys. You got to support Paulo and Franz.
We're up.
And like, yeah, like your Raptors too. You got to support your young guys. Like, if you want to have a chance against the Celtics and now the Cavs, you got to support these guys. But moving on to the Celtics, they're just good. I picked Celtics, Lakers, and I think I picked Lakers to win it, of course. And then they already lost. This Celtics team, I think this was a harder test than what the Cavs had, but the Cavs, man, they made that look like, you know what? I don't care if the Heat are the Heat and they're missing Jimmy Butler and that ruined their franchise. We're going to whoop them. The Celtics, I think, had a bigger test with the Magic. Like, they had a superstar to go on. It's Paolo. The Celtics, however, Jason Tatum, awesome. Jaylen Brown, awesome. They have all these guys, like, and I'm a casual here, but like, I'm watching this series and I'm like, who the heck is, who was it? Crap. Not Peyton. I've heard of Peyton Pritchard. There was another guy, like a ginger-looking guy, Sam Hauser.
Oh, Sam Hauser's a beast.
Who is this? I've never heard of this guy until I watched the game.
He's a dog.
I'm a casual, I know. But yeah, this Celtics team, they can shoot threes. They can do it all. This is a threat to win their second in a row. Could they get repeat? But yeah, I'm not sure. Final thoughts about this one.
Yeah, again, it's no shocker here that the Celtics won this one. The Celtics are probably going to win the NBA championship if it's not for the Thunder.
Yeah. Moving on, I'll let you start this conversation, then I'll butt in. Game 6 and Game 7 tonight and tomorrow. Over on the West, Rockets Warriors Game 6. The Rockets are still alive. The Warriors are 1 game away.
What a good game that Warriors game was in Game 5. Great game. Fred VanVleet went off. I got a Fred VanVleet jersey right here. I got one right there. I got 3 Fred VanVleet jerseys hanging on right now. I love this dude. I think he's a stud. He hasn't really come out of his shell yet in Houston. This was the game. He had his playoff career high, and I was like, this is the Fred VanVleet that I know. This is the Freddie that dropped 50 on the Orlando Magic. I love this Fred VanVleet. And if he can play like this, man, that's the guy that they got him in free agency. Hell, they can win a game, but I just don't see a reality where the Warriors lose. I think this Warriors team is actually a contender in the West, and probably, if I'm going to be honest, the second best team in the West right now, behind the Thunder. It's the Thunder, and then there's a fall off, and then it's the Warriors. This team, they're so good with Jimmy. Do
you think there's a chance they could do it?
No, there's no chance they can beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. It is literally impossible. I would put everything I love on that. They cannot beat the Thunder. That honestly, it actually just depends on who guards Steph, because if you can get Steph locked down, then you're straight.
Yeah, so you're saying there's no chance they can win it? Like no chance? Like, is there a percentage in your
There's
head?
a chance.
Like, you give them a chance?
SGA has to blow his ACL out of his knee, and
hey, they won't be able to meet until the finals. Oh, Western Conference Finals.
And I think the Warriors could beat the Celtics in 7, and I think they could beat the Cavs in 7 as well.
Hey, they've done it before.
I just don't think they can beat. Yeah, exactly. I just don't think that they can beat the Thunder.
And the best case scenario, like you brought up an injury, like if the Thunder there's underperforming against the Nuggets or Clippers. But the team waiting for the Warriors, if they win this series, we didn't even talk about the Rockets yet. But if the Warriors win this series, the Timberwolves, I'm pretty sure, made the Western Conference Finals last year, and they lost to the Mavs. The Timberwolves could be a dark horse team. Like Rudy Gobert turned up the Jets. Anthony Edwards, he's awesome. And to think they're doing this without a cat, Karl Anthony Towns. Like, I hope Cat can like have a run with the Knicks, but I would have rather watched him win with the Timberwolves. I'm sorry. But it just doesn't feel right. That trade was very random. But yeah, looking at this series, break it down really quick. Game 1, Warriors took. Game 2, the Rockets. It kind of flip-flopped until it was 3-1. The Rockets stayed alive. They, like you said, put straight belt to ass to, like we talked about earlier, 131-116 over the Warriors. That was the best, like the most points scored this entire series. It was done by the Houston Rockets, very young team. I'm trying to see a world where the Rockets can maybe force 7 tonight. I don't know.
I would like that. I want the Rockets to win.
I kind of hope. I want to see a good series here. I think there's a chance. And you know what? I'm going to take the Rockets.
I'll take
just for that. So you have it ending. I have the Rockets winning. And then with that, if that happens, I think the Warriors ultimately win this series. But I kind of could see the Rockets winning this and then losing at home in 7. But yeah, that would set up for both of us, Warriors, Timberwolves, 6v7 in that matchup. How about that? But I mean, we talked about it earlier. And over the course of this season, Danny, the 3 through 8 seed were divided by like 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 3 seeded now Lakers could have been in the play-in at one point. Like that's how close this was. So you can't we can't really treat a 7 seed like it's an actual, like the Magic were 7. The Warriors were not 41-41. That's not a 7 seed. The Western Conference, like in the East, you had the Cavs and the Celtics, top dogs. In the West, honestly, anyone could get out of this. Like, honestly, depends on the draw. And moving on, we got a game 7 tomorrow. The Thunder are waiting for their opponent. It is either going to be the Denver Nuggets without their head coach. They are still alive. And then the LA Clippers, they're still alive. 3-3 series tied. I'll let you start.
This is a great series. The Clippers played great last night. This was a fun game to watch as well. I think the Clippers, I made a bet last night on my phone. I bet for Norman Powell to be the finals MVP. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to take the Clippers to win tonight. I think this Clippers team is good. Yeah.
Oh,
how do you on? Yeah, Clippers. Oh. Clippers are good here. Again, like in the West, it doesn't mean anything because the Thunder are in the West. Doesn't mean anything.
Hey, you underperform. This Western Conference, man, it's competitive.
I think
last year the Thunder underperformed.
Second round Thunder would lose to both these teams would lose to the Warriors.
What about the Timberwolves?
Depends on. I think the Nuggets can beat the Timberwolves. I don't think the Clippers can.
Okay, so out of these teams, well, so who do you have winning tonight again?
Clippers.
Okay, 7. I'm gonna take Denver. I don't know. I think they're gonna somehow squeeze this series out of firing their coach and GM. And I thought they were just gonna fall apart. And if you're ranking those teams, so you would have Thunder, Clippers, Timberwolves, Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Rank them 1 through 4 as best chance. I know the Thunder are gonna be 1, but like who has the best chance?
Warriors, Timberwolves, Clippers.
Okay. Is there a world like that could easily flip upside down though?
Yeah.
Like what person? Okay, so the Clippers are getting the Thunder. How many games do they win? Are they swept?
1 or 2, maybe.
1 or 2. Like I brought it up earlier in the show. This Thunder team, the way they played against the Grizzlies,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe they just go on an undefeated tear until they get the Cavs or Celtics, more than likely. But yeah, I'm gonna go Denver tomorrow. You got Clippers. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be fun. I think Jokic. It's just Jokic. He's gonna take over, like he always does. We're about 45 minutes in. Do we want to do our little fun topic at the end?
I say we save it for Tuesday.
Save it, because I'm kind of curious if things will get better.
Hopefully, we'll have some more stories for it Tuesday, but we'll save that. We'll save that for next Tuesday's show. But yeah, that was our NBA show today. A little bit of a shorter episode, but hey, what can you say? You know?
Yeah, the story of it is the takeaways clearly are the Lakers need to be better. That was a wake-up call.
For getting honest.
The Magic are getting honest too.
Yeah.
What did the Magic and Raptors just combine?
Still wouldn't be as good as the Thunder.
Probably not.
They would, but yeah. Yep.
Well,
all right. Well, yeah, that'll do it for today's episode.
Now we're getting a rabbit hole.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
See you later.
Adios.